give me a sense of how pervasive this epidemic of trauma is, because I think a lot of people, when you say the word trauma, it conjures, an image of being sexually abused or being, victimized by some very violent act, when in fact, there's a broader definition at play here. I just know that my kind of introduction to these ideas came at the hands of Gabor Mate.
Mm-hmm.
We had a podcast and he did what he does, which is he flips it and it becomes like a session. We start talking about my upbringing, and I grew up, my parents took care of it. Everything was pretty good. I have nothing that I can point to in my past that would ring a bell and say that was a traumatic experience. But the more I've kind of excavated that, the more I realized that, I did suffer my parents are good people and they're well-intentioned, but there were some traumatic experiences there. And it's really reframed how I think about trauma in terms of how it lies on a spectrum.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that.
So remember, going back to the very first aspect of this conversation, right? Like, trauma is something that leaves the brain different going forward,